Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So a few days ago, I made a post around a couple of exemptions that are, imposed or implemented by the UK Home Office around the skilled worker visa, and I shared, different experiences of people in my community who were able to get, the skilled worker visa, got the certificate of sponsorship, regardless of the fact that the salary for the job offer they got was not up to the minimum salary threshold requirement of 38,700. And I got a couple of reactions. A couple of people jumped on my one-to-one session, jumped on my DM to ask questions around, transitioning or switching from the student visa to the skilled worker visa, or from the post-study work visa to the skilled worker visa. And that was one of those questions that really stood out. And the reason was because I had loads of people ask the same question, which I think is really, really important for us to have a chat about this in this video. And I'll give you instances and scenarios of people who had the same experience and how they were able to get out of it. So if you're currently on the student visa or you're on the post-study work visa, looking at moving to the UK skilled worker visa, then you sure do want to stick to this video till the end. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do also hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. It's very much important for me to emphasize on the fact that if you're looking for, a professional job in the UK, there are chances that the 50% chances that the job offer or the first job offer you're going to get would not come with visa sponsorship. Now, this was one of the message I got on the last video I posted here on YouTube. So this person is asking that I asked my employer for sponsorship. The head of HR still insisted that I should do the post-study or postgraduate visa. Please help. Now, this is something that really happens a whole lot. I mean, I've had three of my students that got job offers as data analyst, and the HR also told them because they just started their post-study work visa, they will need to finish, their time on the post-study work visa before they can sponsor. So some of these employers actually know these rules, and they oftentimes want to save themselves some cost by asking you to stay on the post-study visa for a long time or till it expires before they will be willing to give you the certificate of sponsorship. So this is something that is normal. Now, the first question then is, what then is the way out? What do I need to do in this scenario? And this is what I tell people, even myself, when I was trying to get a job back in 2022, I got a couple of job offers, one of which didn't come. I mean, I had four offers. Actually, two didn't come with sponsorship, two came with sponsorship. So now one of those ones that didn't come with sponsorship, categorically said that it was not going to be sponsorship for the role, that they have no funding for sponsorship on that particular role. However, the second one that didn't come with sponsorship said, you know what, you're running off your master's program, you still have the chance to apply for the post-study work visa. Go on the post-study work visa, then after that expires, then we can then issue a certificate of sponsorship. That was the condition given. Now, luckily for me, I had two other job offers that came immediately with certificate of sponsorship. Obviously, I went with one of those job offers. So this whole conversation of going on post-study visa happens a whole lot. And I've seen people ask questions, what do I need to do? My HR will say I must finish up my time on post-study visa. I mean, I have a couple of friends right now that on the job they are on, they are expected or they will be or they've been promised the certificate of sponsorship towards the master's program. I know two of them got one in December. That was last month. I think their visa is going to expire January, February. So they got the COS from the employer in December. And I know a couple of other friends that their visa is still valid till June, and they're still hoping and waiting to get their own certificate of sponsorship. So some employers actually do that. They tell you to wait and they fulfill on their promise. However, this is one thing I tell people, especially for those of us in the professional space. If you are on a job right now that is promising you, the certificate of sponsorship after or towards the end of your post-study work visa, which is valid, some fulfill their promises. However, please don't sit on this. And I've actually said a whole lot of stuff about this in my previous videos. Some employers get to change their mind because there's no written document, there's no legal document to prove that they promise that they will be sponsoring. So if they choose not to sponsor in the future, you can't owe them to it. Do you hear what I mean? And this is one thing I tell people, say, if you have an employer that says, oh, I will sponsor you towards the end of your post-study work visa, please, from the one of resumption to that job, start looking for another job. And the cool thing is that you can definitely leverage on your experience on that current job to get in a new job, if that makes sense. And I've seen people waste time, get relaxed, feel, oh, my employer is going to sponsor me. And 2 months, a month, towards the end of their program, they went to have an HR, with HR, and HR is now saying, oh, sorry, we can't sponsor, we don't have the funding at this time, and all of that. So please always make sure that even if they're not sponsoring and you're on the job, please make sure you have an exit plan. And this is one of the major things I tell people that I mentor and try to like help to get into the professional space. Depending on the time and the situation you are on, I know people who are trying to like leave their current employer, like probably on a skilled worker visa or the health and care visa, and try to get into a professional space. Now, it makes a whole lot of sense if your employer, you know, is willing, or the new employer is willing to give you sponsorship immediately. However, if they're not willing to, it makes no sense if you are on a visa, you don't have the luxury of time to get on, probation period. And this is one thing some of these employers, actually do. I've had one of my students last year that got a job with an employer that said, oh, they are not even restricting you to you finishing your post-study work visa, but they want her to actually finish our probation period, which is for the space of 6 months before they can sponsor. Now, the challenge we had with that situation was that she's currently on the health and care visa, and she got a job as a data analyst, and she doesn't have that luxury of 6 months, because if she's leaving her current employer, she needs to move to another job with a new employer taking over the sponsorship. So because of that, she couldn't take up the job because she doesn't have 6 months to spend on probation, hoping to get sponsorship when she still needs to be with her employer, if that makes sense. So she couldn't go ahead with the job, and we had to look for a different alternative, change our strategy and approach to the application. And this month of January, she has two interviews, one scheduled for 13th and the other one scheduled for 22nd of January. So we're hoping that these employers will be willing to provide sponsorship or take over as sponsorship. So these are some of the dilemmas people get to face when it comes to like getting on the skilled worker visa. Different employers have like different policies and different restrictions when it comes to providing the certificate of sponsorship. And this takes me back to one of the major things I tell people a lot, especially for those who are rounding up their master's program, or those who are or who recently moved to the post-study work visa. You need to start making those plans as early as possible. Start implementing those plans basically. So making plans is not enough. The implementation of those plans is what is important. I've seen people tell me, oh, by January 2025, I'm going to start, learning that course. I'm going to start, take up that training, take up that certification. And this is January already. I'm making this video on the 9th of January, and they still don't have any, they haven't really applied for that particular certification. They haven't taken up that course, and time really moves so fast. So if you have, let's say, 18 months of your postdoc visa, even if you get a job today that says they want you to stay on your probation period for 6 months, and after passing the probation, they will sponsor you, you still have enough time to, take up job offers like that. But just imagine you have just 3 months left on the postdoc visa, and the employer is asking you to stay on the job for 6 months. You don't have that 6 months. So that's why it makes sense to start all of this process early enough so you don't get stuck along the way. So if you have any question around immigration policies, transition into tech, everything that has to do with living and working as an immigrant in the United Kingdom, then state those questions in the comment section. And if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.